Welcome back to the second half. I'm still Arthur Perkins, and this could be Apgamingreal. What do we got here? Who's this in the lower right-hand corner?
Initially, I was going to go for the captain, but then it turned out more to be like this
Crazy Bob.
Crazy Bob, yeah.
Needs about another 25 pounds of hair.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, initially there was a lot of hair, but yeah, I can see that. More hair.
So, Leeto, you find yourself in the office of one Crazy Bob. Some call him Robert, others call him Crazy Bob. It seems very lonely. It's exactly what you'd expect from a lifelong bachelor. There's like one bed. There's lots of stuff stacked up everywhere. There's narrow ways to walk in between all of the stuff. He's got, Confederate training manuals and, like books. There's actually a framed wall panel that has a comic book in it that says they delve down into the depths. What will they find there? And it's 4 familiar looking D&D players sitting around a table. And we could see little icons of 4 familiar looking D&D characters as someone rolls a die and hits Cazador with a d20. And so Cazador's character is being knocked over as we see like a little Runa fighting against a fire elemental and lava flow battle map. It says episode 18. When will episode 19 come out? The series is canceled until further notice. Artist on hiatus.
No spoilers, huh? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. The artist is listed as Mick Comiker. Yeah, so he goes into the bathroom and comes back with like an emergency bag and starts pulling out some Lazarus patches and says, "Oh, yep, right here. They're like 20 years old, but they're fine. Probably. I think they're fine.
Do they go bad?
I don't know. Do they go? I'm not a doctor. Are you a doctor?"
They call me doctor, but I'm more of a research,
I have a doctorate.
Yeah. So how many are there? How many Laz?
Oh, I
patches?
got 4 of them. I'll sell them to you for 40 creds a piece.
40 creds a piece? That sounds pretty expensive. I don't know. What's the going price for what? Like when we get the starter kits, how much are Laz patches?
30 creds.
30? Okay. How about you have that drink? I could use a drink. It's been a rough week.
Are you paying him for the Lazarus patches first?
No, well, I mean, I'm asking because he also said he wanted to share a drink. So I'm asking if he wants to share that drink.
He goes wandering around. So he starts lowering the gravity, and all of the things in his apartment begin swooping up into the air. So now it's just like a pile of junk is floating around, like Merlin's place in the Disney Sword in the Stone. There's just shit flying in every direction now. At some point, he reaches out and pulls a bottle out of the air, then waits and starts grabbing glasses, checks one and like on his shirt, and then like uses his shirt to clean the inside of the glass out, pours you a drink, and slides it over to you. So of course he has to slide it bottom end towards you so nothing spills out.
Got it. All right.
He slowly brings the gravity back up to near normal.
That was a nice trick. You do that so you can, organize your place.
So as this is happening, all of this stuff is slowly lowering itself back to the ground. He's like, yeah, organize. Yeah, it's me, exactly.
That's a nice trick. I'll have to remember that one. So what do we got here? What's the drink?
Well, it's no Corhellian whiskey, that's for sure.
Yeah, I hear that stuff's like the worst.
Yeah, you'd have to be a madman to drink that. This is called the Coruscator.
Excellent. So, cheers.
He cheers with the bottle and then upends it.
All right, so I'll sip it.
Yeah, it's kind of peaty. Can't really place the taste. Is it a whiskey? Is it kind of just like a grungy vodka? It's hard to tell. It's definitely, you could probably set your breath on fire with this stuff, though.
Okay. So there were 4 LAS things. I go, so, Bob, I imagine you probably get lots of travelers, lots of people coming and going. You probably are in a good situation to collect information.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you know about the Scream in general? I mean...
Oh, the Scream. Yeah. Well, Scream messed this place up real bad, you know? Let me tell you about the WASF system, okay? So this particular space, you know, the Mandate fleet, they all took over their system over there in 0703. You know, they settled down there with their psychics and their military spaceships and landed on planet there, took some moons over, got a pretty cushy life. But all the rest of the people, all the peasants, had to take their spike drive systems. You know, let me tell you something. When the Scream happened, people who had spike drives, they were rebels, okay? They were rebels. Everybody who had money, they could afford to take a warp gate, okay? You could take a rocket sled through a warp gate. You could take anything. You could take a spacesuit through a warp gate. People who had spike drives spike drives were like hundreds of years old at that point. People who had spike drives were rebels. They were survivalists. They were outsiders. They were my kind of people. They're the kind of people who spend their whole lives living on a space station in the middle of nowhere. All of them got together, and they took it to the only system that they could reach after the Scream. Right here in Wasif. No matter where they were, they all jumped to Wasif. Settled down on that nice hunk of metal out there. Got to work. Electrical systems needed repair. Everything was broken. Everything needed help. My great-great-great-great-great-grandmother was there. Many generations back. You know how you run that kind of place? With fuel. You know how you get that fuel? With robot-assisted refueling.
Do you have robot-assisted refueling at this station?
We do. We do.
Oh,
We've had it for hundreds of years.
Notice.
Makes a pretty good overhead cost. We just keep sending the ships out. They go into the upper atmosphere of a gas giant just over that way. And like points behind him. Takes about 20 days to get there and back. We've got a Congo line of them moving all the time. They just fly in, drop off their fuel, eject it right into the station, and they're out again. Yep. Put up quite a bit of money, you know.
Oh, you got a good routine here, a good plan.
Yeah.
A good business, that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, great business.
So tell me, the one thing that's always, I'm interested in the Scream, just so you know. I'm interested in researching and finding stuff. And you know, I don't expect you to know too many answers, but I do have one question, since you hear a lot of people coming and going. I mean, have you heard of any clues on where in this sector the Scream hit first?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What have you heard?
I mean, the stories in the databases here are really, really clear. It hit 0703. It's a black hole up there. Call it the Dragon. It eats everything. Yeah, there was a research team out there. They got hit by the Scream. One of them initiated a spike drive jump in the middle of it. They said it was like hell riding that wave all the way back to 0703.
So the sector that the black hole's in, is that in 0703 as well?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You know, Bob, this drink's pretty good, so I'll down it. You know, can I have some more?
Yeah, he's like, let me figure out where the bottle is. You don't mind I drink from it, right? And so it's pouring it into your glass. Don't worry, it's self-sterilizing.
It works for me. You know, Bob, I would like to be friends. Will you be my friend?
I'd love to have some friends.
Awesome. I'm going to give you, if you're okay with this, I'm going to give you 50 credits each for the LAS.
That's very generous.
What I'm but I want you to collect information. If you hear anything about the screen, I would like you to contact me and pass along that information if you
Give me
wouldn't
your
mind.
comm details, and I'm sure we can work something out, exchanging information.
Fantastic. So yeah, I'll give them the comm details.
I have to tell you that some people say that I'm very difficult to speak with.
Well, we can always have some more drinks.
Of course. Okay. I just mean
Cool.
gathering information. I'll do what I can.
Yeah, if something pops up, fine. If not, that's cool too. But I appreciate the Lazarus patches.
All right. Yeah. As you slide him the credits, he picks up something nearby and like clicks it. Some music starts playing. And he's just like, "This is authentic Earth music right here." Like a mariachi band. He just starts dancing and he like trips over some of the junk that's lying on the floor. He's like, "Yeah, let me tell you, we're the only station in the whole sector that sells authentic Terran food. I get that Earth everything. Earth everything. That's how you make the money, my friend."
Excellent.
Okay, we got back to Bella cleaning out the inside of her vac suit. The puke is everywhere. Everywhere. It doesn't just get in the faceplate, of course. It like bounces back onto your face. It goes down the suit. It's disgusting.
As I assume it would be if you threw up in a contained
space.
Yeah.
Is there a shower around here?
So the captain's just like, "Aye, the old fleet of Horus One Feather has a shower on board his ship."
Well, I think you have a shower back on our ship. If you,
I didn't really look that much.
Well, I'll tell you what. It seems like your robot's lacking some manner of repair mechanisms to it.
Oh yeah?
Would that be a truth, do you think?
Well, like let me ask you, AP, is that true? I don't know.
I mean, what's your maximum hit points, Bearded?
I think it's 12.
Yeah, you're missing half your health then.
Right.
Yeah.
I have some spare parts back on my ship I could sell you.
Well, spare parts are always useful.
Aye.
We could take a look. Yeah, sure.
Aye, then.
Debbie, you want to come?
Of course.
You have credits?
We should go find the doctor.
Yeah, we should probably go find the doctor.
All right. Well, I'm on slip 19. Head on over there if you want to get a shower and some spare parts. I could show you around the ship.
All right, sounds good.
I'll try to clean up Bella as best I can.
So as
that she
you're
can
walking,
walk.
you're like wiping her face off.
With a napkin from the restaurant.
So I want to point out now, Bella's face is now covered in like industrial solvent and dirt instead of throw up. And Devi has like one part of her box that looks like it's been power wash porned. It looks beautiful, just like this one pylon on her body.
I think I still want to take a shower.
Oh,
Also, this is the only outfit I own. Do you think there's a place to buy more clothes? I threw up on it.
probably.
You actually run into
sure
Dr.
we can find
Leeto
something.
in the hallway, and you guys are right in front of the gift shop where Leeto was looking at before. There's a number of t-shirts and like shorts, and that's it. It's all like beach clothing.
That's fine. Hey,
You
Chris,
can
do you
also
have any
get
money?
straw-based sun hats.
How much you need?
How much does a t-shirt and shorts?
It's a great question. What do street clothes cost? How many pieces of clothing are you looking to get?
Something to replace what I threw up on. So just an outfit.
Just one outfit? Like 50 creds.
50?
Oof.
Look at
Maybe-
Mr. Infinite Dollars over here. Oof.
Me out of infinite dollars?
Right?
Okay, sure, Bella. Well, that's half our money.
I'm so sorry.
So
Do
sorry.
you have a
like-
change of clothes that I could use instead for free?
Me? What do I have? No.
I mean, you guys have technically, you have a bunch of dead Confederate outfits.
I thought we sold those.
But they sold them.
They sold like the armor and stuff.
Also,
Oh, you could take
Hopefully
all of
we
the
burn them.
husband's clothing because he's dead and he's never gonna need it anymore.
technically, I don't know about any of that.
That's true.
We have clothes on the ship.
Oh, that's good.
Look,
I can get
50
them
credits
for you.
in the end. What's the big deal? We might need those for Debbie's parts, but it's your call. Your money's my money.
Actually, it's all your money. I have none. But, you know,
Sorry, my money's your money.
free,
You should marry.
what?
You should get married.
What was that?
Free sounds good. And she starts immediately walking towards the ship really fast.
Yeah.
I'll chase after her.
You can get several sets of overalls that are much too large for you, and some very large button-down work shirts. Some of them have a nameplate that says Mr. Tiku.
At least since they're overalls, I don't have to worry about, like, not having a belt because they'll stay up.
Can I try to make them fit her, and like by cutting them up and taking the name tag off of it?
Yes, absolutely. This can be a role.
Yes,
I'm
finally.
sure there's a skill to cover this.
While she's doing that, I'm going to take a shower.
You feel a lot better afterwards.
I assume.
Let's see here. What skill?
What did you find in your excursion? We had a pretty good meal.
I need you to make a trade skill, Devi,
Ooh.
using your dexterity, which is a 0,
Okay.
and your
So I
trade,
roll
which is a
2d6?
-1.
Oof.
You only need to get a, let's call it an 8.
Connor got a 12.
Okay.
You can do it.
Do I need to roll 2d6?
2d6 -1.
All right.
You got exactly an 8.
Yes.
You have perfectly resized these clothing. You're not exactly sure. Like the first time you did it wrong, but then your processors kick in and determine how to shrink the clothing correctly. You know, folding the fabric on the inside, sewing things together. I don't know how it works. You know, I'm sure I'm gonna get a comment that's like, "No, Arthur, that's not how you reduce the size of garments." Okay, let me go into a 15-minute YouTube video, and I'll be like, "You know what? That was pretty interesting." You get it done, Devi.
Yeah.
And since you're an AI, you do it super fast too. You're like, Bella, when you come out, you've got 3 new sets of clothing, and there's no nameplate that says Mr. Tiku anymore.
That's good. She'll put on some of the new clothes and then come out.
You look like you belong on a Confederate rural backworld.
Oh, Bella, you look like you're gelded.
I look like I'm what?
Gelded. Haven't I ever used the phrase around you? Gilded or gelded?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It seems like you don't even know the word.
Me? I just said it.
Which is it, gilded or gelded?
No, the question is, are you gilded or are you gelded?
What's the difference?
Well,
Yes, what is the difference?
to be gelded is to be part of the to be gilded is a part of the gilded fleet. And then gelded would be snip.
What?
Like I did with her clothes?
Sort of like that.
Are you insulting me? I can't tell.
I'm not I would never insult you, Bella. I'm just saying what you might be looking like if you're wearing those clothing. But
Can I Google gelded?
Yeah,
He is turning very red.
it's cutting dudes' balls off.
Oh,
Generally refers to like cowards or, you know, people who are weak.
I feel like this is an insult.
You're
Not
100%
insult.
certain that it's an insult.
It's
When
not-
you space Google it, it's listed as pejorative insult.
It's spoogle.
Space
If you spoogle it.
You know, on Spacebook, where you hook up with all your space friends. I didn't even make that one up. That's from Swan Song. Everybody was on Spacebook. They made that show was so big they made a fake Spacebook so that people in the audience could set up accounts to Spacebook each other.
That's
They just
great.
made a Facebook clone.
Wow, that seems ambitious.
Crush, this feels incredibly insulting. I thought we were friends.
We are friends. I'm not saying that this is what you are. I'm saying you're looking like a Confederate person.
This is the best I could do, okay? And then she just storms off to her room and slams the door.
I offered to buy
And
you.
then I also say, it was the best I could do too. And I also storm off.
Marguerite pops her head out of one of the guest rooms and just goes, "You're mean, Cush," and then pops her head back in and then closes the door. And you hear, "Yon,
Weren't those your clothes?
those are my dad's clothes, you dumb meanie.
Oh. What happened to your dad?
He died." She opens
He
the
died?
door. She says, "He died.
How'd he die?
We were trying to get away from the bad Confederate people and they shot him in the back."
Yes, ask the child how their parent died.
Well, I mean, you would ask that.
Everyone died. All of the crew of the ship died too. And then all of the bad people died.
Who were the bad people?
They were Confederates. They were
Yeah.
really mean, like you.
They are mean.
They didn't
I'm not
smell
mean.
bad, though. She holds up Mallow and goes, "Mallow doesn't like you, so I don't like you either."
Cabot's love me.
She closes the door in your face.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go talk to Roger.
Doctor,
All of AP small children are my favorite characters.
I don't know how to play children. I gotta be very clear here. I avoid them in real life because I am frightened of them.
As somebody who's worked with children a lot before, I think you do it pretty spot on.
They're
do a
super
pretty good job,
scary,
yeah.
you know? You never know what they're gonna say or do or what they're gonna fall off of or how they're gonna hurt themselves.
That's the scary part, but what they're going to say is always really funny.
Okay.
Mhm.
Dr. Leeto, Koosh runs into you after a few minutes. Where are you at?
Back in the bridge then, the bridge area.
All right. The vid screen is just giving off sparks right now. It's like a fountain of sparks.
We'll have to get that fixed one of these days.
Yeah, it'd be a handy thing to have a mechanic around on board. Do it. What did you find in your excursion?
I was able to get some last patches and building contact, so the proprietor of this space station might be able to help us, gather information when we need it.
Okay. Yeah, I think we've also made a contact. We might be able to get some work on some smuggling. When are we going to drop our cargo off?
We can go at any time. We're refueled. You guys have had your meal. I think we're set whenever we want to go.
Well, we have a line on some spare parts we could probably buy. We might want to get those. I don't think Debbie's running at full capacity yet.
So what do we need?
Money and well, that's basically it. Money, and we need to go visit the captain.
How much money
Oh,
do we need
hello
for the
there,
parts?
doctor.
Hello, Debbie. I
Do you
hear we're
have
going
my
to get you all
credits?
fixed up.
Yes, I would very much like my credits, please.
Your credits.
Yes, the ones you took off my body.
Well, then they're my credits.
Suddenly, a
grab him and
pirate
lift him
hat
up.
lowers onto the captain's head.
Yeah. Now, how much credits did you have, Debbie?
341 credits.
Did you? All right.
Very specific.
Yep. All right, I'll give him 341 credits. Give her 341 credits.
It was 340. I got
Oh shit!
Does she
The one-
whisper that as she's
The
leaving?
one sounded off.
you. No. She whispers it to herself.
I played a human trick on a human.
I'm a robot. I never had credits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, so yeah. How much money do you need for the parks then? Because we should get Devi up to full capacity.
I don't know. We should all go together. See what this guy's up to. Let's meet him. He might have a line on some work. We could talk to him. Might be worthwhile.
All
See
right.
what he's all about.
Sound good to everyone? We can do it.
I'm already on my way there.
Okay, let's go.
Hello, are you coming?
She'll come out of the room, but she doesn't look at Kush.
You're not still sour, are you?
Devi, wait up.
Kush, what happened between you two?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've used this phrase around here before, but apparently I haven't. You've heard the phrase "gilded" or "gelded." It's a common phrase in the Gilded Fleet.
So
You said that to a woman? What an idiot.
as you guys are saying this, you arrive at Bay 19, where you're looking at a free merchant ship. It's very familiar to you, Kush. It's very clearly the former ship of Captain Bluetooth.
Oh, okay.
The side of it says the One Feather, and below that is a golden skull, which has the words gilded or gelded under it.
See, I knew somebody who knew this phrase.
One Feather comes off the ship, and he's just like, "Ah, there you are, my friends." Well, look, before we
Hello
get to
again.
the spare parts business, I wanted to talk to you about a business opportunity.
Okay.
Well, look, I belong to an organization. They're rural, tradition-based. They need to inject foreign money into their local economy, and they travel abroad for business opportunities. So I guess what I'm asking is, have you ever thought about working for the Gilded Fleet?
The pay was right.
Strong values, family ties, that kind of thing. Plus, if you're really into, like, pushing around slaves, you can become an administrator. I hear it's funny. I'm not
We're
into
not-
that kind of thing. I'm more into the, smuggling side of things. But, I'm trying to sell you on the experience, the lifestyle,
We wouldn't be interested in any kind of slave trade, right, Bella?
Oh, well, you could be pirates or something and, find other people's ships and be like, give us everything you own or we'll shoot you. And they'll be like, all right, we'll give you like 20% of what we got. And you go, all right, good enough.
That does sound like my kind of style, but
What do you do?
I smuggle things. I was thinking of getting into the drug game. I've been very resistant to it, but, I've been drinking today and, everything's legal in the Gilded Fleet, and it's not so legal everywhere else. So if, I get a big pile of hallucinogenics or uppers, downers, riders, just, so I try to, I don't want to sell to kids or anything. I want to be very ethical about it. I don't know how to get into the game is the problem, How do you find an ethical drug dealer? I can't just like show up in the system with a bunch of drugs and start asking people, are you a local dealer? I'm too old to switch professions now. Carpet smuggling was where I was at.
got to change with the times.
It might be time to retire and sell the old ship. Gotta see if I can live off the money, but gilded or gelt, I just can't part with the old girl now.
It is a fine ship.
I picked it up 2 years ago. Passed through a couple hands. Every few years, another pirate group would take it from another pirate group. That's how things go in the Gilded Fleet.
Yeah, I've seen this ship before. I've had some fun.
Those must be some big hands.
So he's like looking at both of you and doesn't know what to say to either of those things. R.
How much does
You
a
had
ship
some
like
parts?
this go for?
Oh, a ship like this. Well, this isn't exactly off the market value, as it were, but let me see if I can find the last appraisal.
Is it just you on this ship?
Aye, 'tis just me on the ship. Don't go thinking anything funny, my boy.
Oh, I'm not thinking of anything that kind of funny. I'm just saying.
He's not that funny, anyways.
You're funny. You have a unusual sense of humor for a robot as well. A ship like this will cost you 250,000 creds.
How much would it cost if we made a trade?
What do you mean a trade?
You know, I hear when people retire, it's really fun to do one of those things called a fixer-upper, where you take a ship that needs some repair and you turn it into whatever you want it to be.
Aye, I suppose I could find something like that.
Then we
Bella,
trade in.
don't we have something like that?
We do have something like that. It's
Well,
pretty good.
let me look
passing-
over your ship's manifest and appraise its value.
But first, don't you have some parts?
Yeah, so he begins crunching some numbers, and he pulls out 6 kits of spare parts. He says 350 credits.
I give him 341 credits.
All right, I'll give him the 9.
I appreciate your gumption, robot. Your commitment to saving your own life is admirable. And he slides 10 credits back over to you.
Thank you. I've learned a lot about trading.
Aye. Aye, that you have. Let me tell you the first thing about trading. Always have what the people want and sell it for twice the price.
Good to know.
Buy low, sell high. Smuggling is the best overhead. If it's illegal, you can charge much more.
I turn around to Bella and go, smuggling has the best overhead.
Free is better than paying for it.
I agree with
What-
that one.
He's not wrong.
I'm not sure if you should really take the smuggling thing too seriously, unless we become smugglers, then I guess. But I don't really know what you guys do.
Are you not smugglers? I'm looking at a ship here that has 2 smuggling holds, according to your manifest.
Yeah, well, we tried to use those to take the ship, but it didn't work out.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'd be willing to swap ships with you for 500,000 credits.
Well, I don't think we have that.
Not even close.
Okay, well, I hope you have fun with your fixer-upper then. I'm gonna have to get
Thank
back
you.
to smuggling the drugs. Do you happen to know what the kids like these days? Is there a particular brand?
I think they like knives.
Knives. I've never heard of that. Is it like synth coke?
No, it's sharp and pointy.
Belle
Oh.
pulls out her knife, like, actual knives.
Well,
Yes,
knives
like
aren't
this one.
illegal. You can't smuggle knives.
There's also a little girl on our ship with one.
Why does the child on your ship have a knife?
Why is there a child on a smuggling ship?
We're going to take her to her home.
I hope so, certainly.
With her mother.
I'm part of the Gilded Fleet, but I would never smuggle a child.
We did not smuggle her. She came on by herself with her mother.
Look, I've seen a lot of things, and I've heard a lot of stories, but you're very confusing right now.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't know what's going on either.
Okay.
He asked what the children liked.
I'm sorry. You asked what a child liked, and then you got her on board, and now you're taking her to a new home?
No, you asked what children
Oh,
like
okay,
these
sorry.
days. He is very confusing.
I'm very worried. All right, look. I think our business here is done, and I like you guys, but it seems like maybe you got to get your head on straight.
You have a number to call if we get the money to buy the ship?
Absolutely. I'll give you my... And he hands you his comm information. Now, this will only work when we're in the same system, but if you get the money, look me up. I'd be probably willing to swap up.
Thank you.
We could, of course, combine efforts. I mean, it seems like we're helping people get out of the Confederacy.
Are you?
Yeah.
Your story is very confusing to me. I'm not sure you're helping anyone.
As far as I can tell, this girl was going to be killed if she stayed with the Confederacy. We're helping her.
Why would she be killed unless she were a psychic?
Yep, that's right. A psychic.
I don't truck no psychics.
You don't?
I don't like keeping them on my ship. They're all weird and stuff.
We're not that weird.
You never know what they're going to do, whether they're going to read your mind or whether you're going to pick stuff up with their mind or whether they're going to be like, I cheated cards and now I have 2 aces in my hand even when I wasn't supposed to.
Or what if they're going to be a lifelong friend that insults you out of the blue?
Oh, that was an insult.
It was an insult. I Googled it. It's an insult.
What kind of
She's
insult
Googled
did he
it.
tell you that could...
He said I looked scalded.
I didn't say
You said that to a woman? A young woman?
I did not say that.
A companion?
I did not say that.
He did say it. I was there.
You can't report accurately.
You embarrass me, son. You embarrass me and
repeat
you
exactly
embarrass
what he
yourself.
said while I was
You've
there.
shamed your father and your mother.
Word by word.
That is not what I said.
It is exactly what you said. Thank you for the parts. I appreciate it.
Well, I hope you feel better soon, little robot.
Yeah, I think it's probably time we get our passengers home. I think. What do you guys think?
Yep. I'm going to start repairing myself, but for sure.
How long is it going to take you to be repaired, Debbie?
AP.
It's 15 minutes for every level of repair, so an hour and a half.
No, not that long. I work quick.
If you set the ship to go to the system edge, you'll be done before you need to get jump calculations ready.
Perfect. I'll do it then.
Okay. You blast off in the beluga and you start heading back towards the system rim. Now you haven't refilled your food or your oxygen or your water, but because you have a 20-person shuttle and you also have extended double shuttling, you have enough stuff for like 20 people for 2 months. So you have more than enough shit. It'll last you for like 6 or 7 of you for a long ass time. You make it to the system rim, no problem. You can make the jump to 0703. Normally it would take 12 days. You have a drive 2, so it will take 6 days. If you would like to attempt to cut the rudder, you can make it in 4 days.
Sure.
Okay. As your charts are still less than 2 months old, you do that without a roll. And so we see the beluga just sailing its giant ass V wing to the edge of the system rim, and then it just opens up a portal in space. It's got this weird Technicolor Dreamcoat ass shit that swallows the ship up, and you ride waves of radiation through a dimensional rift, moving up and down between dimensions, forcing yourself forward through the shear factor.
Dope.
You guys have 4 days before you arrive, and you will arrive on January 13th. Anything you want to do during that time? So the little girl has basically adopted Malo at this point, and on the rare occasion you speak to her, she seems to indicate that Malo is going to come with her when she leaves the ship. Marguerite is using Malo as like a, what do you call it? Security blanket.
Bella will go to Dr. Leeto. Did you give the kid the cabot?
I didn't give the kid anything. She adopted the cabot. So it's going to be between you and her.
Oh.
You guys can fight over it, but I will tell you, you might want to let her keep the cabot.
She's just gonna give Dr. Leeto very sad, very big puppy eyes.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to get between two women fighting over a cabot.
And then
You
she'll
know,
go back.
That's a wise policy, but it's not wise to tell a woman that. That would be like telling her she's gelded.
No. That's a man that has some wisdom on life, not to get stuck in the middle. Trying to learn.
All right, you go to see Marguerite Tiku. She's with her mom. She is bouncing Malo off of a wall. You know, in the same way someone would like throw a tennis ball at a wall and then bounce. And every time he bounces, he goes, "Pyong."
You shouldn't do that. It's not really safe for him.
Perfectly safe for him. They're made to do this.
No, they're not.
What are you, some sort of internationally world-renowned cabot farmer?
My parents were.
Well, my dad is dead.
I know.
He's gonna hold on to Malo. Be like, well, I know a lot about cabots, okay? Your dad and your mom might know a lot about cabots, but I know a lot about cabots too.
Like what?
Well, you know, this is a pretty rare cabot, okay? I've never seen one like this. It's got a pretty unique genetic structure. Also, cabots need to be fed twice a day, and they need a minimum amount of water so that they can survive on worlds that don't have a lot of water. You know that cabots have hollow bones? Also, cabots have a lot of fat to protect them so that you can bounce them off of stuff. Because in space, you never know what's going to happen.
How much of that is true?
All of it is true.
Okay.
Do you know that cabots can smell razor rain up to 12 hours away and will instinctively hide in the ground until the razor rain passes? It's not really clear to anyone how that works. The hive mind just designed them that way. Yeah, cabots are pretty smart when they're not going, "Pyon." When she says that, the cabot goes, "Pyon."
Bella will spend the rest of the time on the ship sulking.
It's gonna be pretty hard. The kid is gonna follow you around and try to out cabot fat you now. Like every time you come out of your bathroom, she's like there and she's like, "Let me tell you something else about cabots that I just learned when I read the database."
1 in every 3 cabots.
She just looks very sad and sulks as the kid is telling her all these facts.
Can I
Rubbing
make
salt in the
her a
wound.
cabot out of spare parts?
No. You don't have any spare parts left. All right, Bella, if you would like, I will let you perform a passive aggressive check to get the kid to surrender the cabot.
Okay.
Make a talk check with your charisma. So that'll be a 2d6 plus 2.
I think it's a 3d6.
Oh, that's right. You have 3d6 and then you drop the lowest.
And then I get something else for it too.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Did you
Okay.
take
Where were you
2
last
levels of
episode?
diplomat or something?
No,
Oh,
I
no,
took
you're a
diplomat
specialist,
and
that's what it is.
specialist.
All right. You
It's
re-roll ones on
You should
any
be doing
skill.
all the talking.
Okay, so you do 3d6 plus 2, you re-roll ones, and you drop the lowest out of the 3d6.
Okay.
Holy moly.
re-roll the wrong.
You can re-roll the 1.
2.
So you have a 5 and a
9.
2 plus 2 is going to end up being 9. Okay. So on the last night before you guys arrive, the kid finds you in what passes for the mess in the cargo bay. And she holds Mallow out to you, and you can tell her little tiny arms are trembling, and she lets Mallow go and psychically floats Mallow over to you, but tears are streaming down her eyes. And she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were so sad. I'm sure as a well-renowned cabbit farmer, you've been away from them for so long. And this isn't really my cabbit. And my mom says I can't keep it anyway.
I'm sorry that you're sad.
We're going to school. And I don't know if they're going to let me keep a cabbit there. So I'm going to give it to you, but just for a little while, okay?
Okay.
And she psychically floats herself into a hug with you, but the cabbit is between the two of you. She's bawling. Tears everywhere. It seems like maybe a little bit more than just giving you the cabbit is involved in this.
Thanks for Mal. I'll take good care of him for you.
She just sobs wordlessly.
Just pat her head, let her cry it out.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking emotional trauma. She's seen people murdered directly in front of her. She's been on the run for days. She, Leeto, and Mom all had to be on a military spaceship with no shower or for 4 days.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's been a rough life for this young woman. She lets it all out. Anything else you guys want to do during your trip? Cotton has guilt tripped her way into getting her own cabbit back.
There is no way Cotton was not going to walk away, with her cabbit. Clearly. What would you have done next, Cotton?
I couldn't even complain to Kush about it because she was mad at him still.
If you missed your roll, what would you have done? Pulled out your Lay's rifle?
No.
Jesus.
I would have asked Kush to steal it back.
Oh my god, how do you steal a cabbit? Kush is like, we'll smuggle it in the smuggling section and tell the girl that the cabbit got flushed into space. The cabbit is dead. It got flushed into drive space and got in space insanity. Oh yeah, by the way, all of the windows automatically lock so no one can look outside during drive space flight. Otherwise, you'll basically go insane immediately.
Oh.
Nice.
Cool.
Good
Good
to
to
know.
Kush.
Yep.
You're a psychic.
No.
You're not a psychic.
I am a psychic. Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
I was thinking you were saying it was telepathic. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, no, not
You're
telepathic.
psychic.
Yes.
That means you need drugs to control your metadimensional extroversion syndrome.
Okay. Do we have any on board?
I mean, the doctor might have some. Do you want to go to him, or maybe take some for yourself?
I
Like,
want
if
to
you
go
go
to
to him, he'll know that you're a psychic,
Yeah.
and he'll be the one in control of the supply.
Okay. Hey,
I'm just saying those are things you've thought about because you're a criminal and you steal things.
it's true.
You would
Well,
never want someone to have power over you, right? I mean, if you talk to this doctor who's also the captain and he's got all the supply.
Yeah. I mean, those are good points. But he seems like an upstanding fellow, and I've already done favors for them. So I feel like that so far anyway, he's
You
probably
feel
not
like
gonna
he owes
screw-
you one?
Yeah, I feel like it was. I don't know. Roger, is this ship come equipped with any kind of what are they called? Drugs for psychics?
Yeah, MES syndrome, metadimensional extroversion syndrome, MES drugs.
MES, what, you don't carry your own?
Well, we ran off that station pretty quick. Didn't have time to pack all the necessaries.
I don't know what I have. Do we start with a certain amount as starting?
Well, probably not, but
Yeah, I mean, if you have a TL4 medical bay, which your shuttle does, and by that's medical bay, it can basically provide a reasonable amount of MES drugs and really anything else you need. Like if you had a flu, the med bay would be able to cover it. It can even get rid of cancer.
Wow, that's a heck of a med bay.
Yeah, well, it can't stop some of the more advanced diseases that have happened since that time.
Right. All right, so I'll pass that on to Kush that we have a working med bay. so you can get your drugs there.
All right, thank you.
What
So
kind of psychic are you?
telekinetic.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Okay.
Uh,
So yeah,
just
you
like
can
the
get your
last guy
drugs.
Connor played.
yes.
That coincidence. Yeah.
You won't stop me from playing this class, AP.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to roleplay him differently, but we'll see how that goes. So I take a look at the supply. How many jumps worth of supplies are there in there?
For MAS drugs,
Yeah, for MES drugs.
there's enough MAS drugs to last 20 people 2 months.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna take some.
That's 60 times 20 is what, 1,200 doses.
And
How long does a dose last?
1 day.
Okay.
This is entirely background. Like, unless you guys end up drifting in space for a while, you're not going to run into MES stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna grab some, and I'm gonna grab the child some. She's gonna need some, right?
Yep. I mean, the doctor's been administrating her since she got on the ship.
Okay. So then, it's fine.
You're gonna smuggle her some more. Give her a handful of MES drugs.
No,
You know, because that's what you do. In
Here,
order to
little girl,
control
have
your
some drugs.
dangerous brain disease, you just throw a handful of drugs at children when you're not a licensed medical professional.
I mean, I wouldn't give it directly to her anyway. I would give it to the mother.
Take
Okay.
one of these ampules whenever you're feeling, psychic-y.
Psycho. Yeah.
Anyway, since they're already administered, I don't need to do that. So I won't do that. Yeah, just going to grab my supply, get down to my quarters, and get ready for the trip.
Anything else anybody wants to do before you arrive?
I think that's it.
So, as you guys come out of drive space, your ship gets dozens of weapon locks before your sensors finish fully loading, and you nearly hit 4 different ships. There's about 24 fighter craft around you that are all shaped, they're kind of insectoid. And there's a massive bulk freighter that could probably carry 100 of your shuttles. It's shaped like a hexagonal rod. On top of that, there's some sort of massive wedge-shaped ship that's even bigger than the bulk freighter that has showed up, that has dozens of missile launchers, torpedo bays, lasers, Gatling guns on it, and it kind of looks like there's at least 2, maybe 3 or 4 fleets here that are all open weapon porting each other. For us viewers at home, some music starts playing. At first, it's just an ocarina, and then there's a little bit of steel drums that picks in, and then the lounge singer kicks in, and it's clear that we're listening to like a weirdly Jamaican acoustic version of Disturbed's 10,000 Fists in the Air. As we go over the side of the bulk freighter, and we can see that it says Gilded or Gelded on it, as do most of the fighters in the area. You have 2 different calls immediately asking who you are for you to stand down immediately and prepare to be boarded. One is coming from Hamon Salazar, leader of the Gilded Fleet, and the other is coming from Commodore Repnis Britar.
Felt like it's in a smuggler's hold.
I prepare the ship to get boarded as well. Do we get like a sort of passcode for them once we found them?
So you're supposed to deliver them stealthily to the Psionic Academy ship. It's 48 hours in system. It's in the shadow of a moon, so that if you want to find it, you basically have to go down to the moon, and then the moon and the planet are constantly blocking the ship from being seen from the system rim.
I get in the smuggler's hold. I say to Bella, I mean, worst comes to worst, I think you could convince them that we escaped on our own merit and we deserve where we're at now.
You're half in and out. You're just like, you could explain it. Then you shut the door in her face.
No, I'm joining her in the hold. She's still in the hold. I'm in the hold.
So there's 2 different holds, but the holds can hold 400 kilograms each. So yeah, you could both fit in one.
Yeah, I assume that. Yeah.
Tight fit.
Yeah, it's basically face to face.
Doctor, please assume the captain's chair. I will patch the line through.
Which call are you going to answer? The one from Ramon Salazar or the one from Commodore Repness?
So Repness was like
Salazar.
they're not from the Gilded Fleet. Where are they from?
So Commodore Repness appears to represent the local military forces. He is flying a ancient. So the ship's about 800 years old. It's a Mandate era battle cruiser. It's kind of falling apart. But you know, when you've got basically a giant battleship falling apart, it still has hundreds of weapons on it. So you're answering Ramon Salazar first.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go for
So you see a mid-30s, pretty handsome, roguish, Hispanic, curly black hair, kind of short but unkempt, goatee, tan skin, and Ramon is just like, "Who are you, and why have you arrived here?"
My name is Captain. Well, it's not Captain. My name's Rogr Leeto, and you know we're just trying to get some passengers to the moon. We're just trying to enter
You are
the
here for the
system
psionic ship.
for the psionic ship.
Yes, I didn't know that many people knew about that ship. How
So
interesting.
yes,
So you're
we're
trying to take a
interested.
psionic to that particular ship, yes?
It sounds appropriate. Yes.
How much are they paying you?
I don't know. AP, how much were they paying us?
I mean, this was your training mission to see whether or not you were trustworthy or not.
Yeah.
So
All
Ramon
right.
says, "You know what? I tried to work with them. They turned me down. You know how many people turned me down? I'm Ramon Salazar." You could see
Not many people, huh?
he's shaking his leg and he's holding onto the arm of his captain's chair. Some people in the background are like moving uncomfortably on his bridge. Well, let me tell you something. I may not be the power in the Moniazi system, but this ship right here is also a Psionic Academy ship. And I've got a bunch of psionicists on board. I tell you what, you land on my ship, you sell the family to me, I set them up with a good life. I train them. I help them become psionics. They join the Gilded Fleet. I pay you a good money for them. Huh?
I'm not quite so sure of that. I mean, tell me more. Who's this other ship out there? They hail as Captain Repness. Who are they?
That's Commodore
Commodore.
Repness. Yeah,
Commodore
it's this guy
Repness.
who's been up my ass all afternoon. I showed up on system, trying to ask the Psionic Academy, the dawn of tomorrow, if they would join with me. You know, and the headmaster is playing some sort of mind games with me, trying to say something about he stays here and I go elsewhere. And I say, no, we should both join forces. And he says, everyone must do, what they're meant to do. So I tell you what, I'm going out there and I'm finding the psychics and I'm bringing them with me. They want to try to find psychics? No, I'm going to find all of the psychics. They're going to belong to me. They're going to belong to me.
So you're talking like you're going to own the psychics. Are you trying to help them, or?
I mean, you know what? I'm going to help them, okay? You know, they're going to belong to my fleet, but they're going to be like family to me, okay? You know, I'm not going to tell you you can't own people. This is the Gilded Fleet. You can own people. But I'm like, my older brother, he's the one that's all. You can own people. Everybody should be slaves. You know what? I don't need that shit. Okay? Slavery is not the way we do things. Maybe we take people, maybe we draft them for a while, we pay them a good wage. We're going to take the psychics, we're going to train them. They're going to pay us back, like college tuition. Student debt. Yeah, like that. And once we control everything, because we control the psychics, who knows what happens? I'm still in the planning phases here, okay? But don't worry. Something will come together. I'm Ramon Salazar.
Understood.
My strategist? No, hey, I can see you laughing at me, but let me tell you something. My strategist is one of those psychics that can see the future. All right? I'm always going to make the best choice. The card that I pick is always going to be an ace. So you have a choice to make now, my friend. You can either take whatever card you have in your hand, and you could try to play that for whatever these psychics are going to pay you, or you could join the Gilded Fleet right now. I'll pay you a good wage. That shuttle looks like it's still mostly intact. Why not become a pirate? You say you want to help psychics. I'm going to find all the psychics. If you're good at finding psychics, I want you.
All right, give me a minute. Let me talk to my crew.
Okay.
Comms out. All right, Debbie, can you
So
open
your
up a
channel from the Commodore is like blinking 3 times as hard. It's like bleep, 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 bleep.
Yeah. Yeah,
I got
Debbie,
you
can you
through.
open the channel for the Commodore?
This is Commodore Repness. Can you explain to me why you haven't answered my hails?
Well, in all honesty, I was talking to the other captain of the other fleet. It was just a matter of happenstance that we talked to them first.
You didn't think you should talk to the people whose system you're in.
Well, no.
I am the
apologize.
military commander of the Money Aziz system, okay? The governor of Thorhill has personally given me the authority to be here. You see this? This is a Brussels-class battlecruiser. I shouldn't even have to explain this to you. What's your name and what are you doing here?
We're just trying to come through the system. I mean, it's just our bad luck, I think, to land
Who
in the
are
middle
you?
of your 2 fleets.
Who
So,
are you?
My name is Roger Kincaid.
Rogr Kincaid.
Yeah.
Send over the...
Rogr Leeto. It's been a while. Yeah.
Send over the documentation of your ship.
All right, Debbie, you want to send him the manifest?
It says here this is a stolen ship.
It's not a stolen ship. We bought it off.
The
Fill in the
Gilded
blank
Fleet,
planet.
yes?
Look, just because we buy something off of them doesn't make us guilty of anything. We
They
needed a
stole it
ship,
from
we
an
bought-
independent 2 years ago.
What do you want? What do you want from us?
There's a processing fee involved for cases like this. I can expedite your particular situation for 1,000 credits.
All right, and then after this process is complete, is the ship in our name? We're not going to have any hassles?
Not in this particular system.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and wire him the 1,000 credits.
All right. The account that he gives you is not a government account. It's not a ship's account. It's a personal account.
Okay.
You wire him 1,000 credits, and he says, "Very well. You may go about your business without any interference from the lawful government of the Moni Aziz system." Suddenly, half of the targeting locks on your ship disappear. Is there anything else that you will require? Perhaps any assistance from the lawful government of the Moni Aziz system?
I type into the little overhead that says they could probably help us with the other ship.
Give me a second, Commodore. I'll be right back with you. So turn off comms again. So what was that, Debbie?
I said they could probably help us with the other ship. They don't seem friendly.
I don't even know where to go because I don't trust anyone. What does your instincts tell you?
Have them run interference for the other ship while we go to where we need to go.
You mean tie up the Gilded Fleet or the pirates?
Yes.
Okay. I'm all right with that. Open channels to Commodore.
All right, you open the channel. Didn't I just
All right.
get rid of you?
Yes. We're going to be on our way. There's a possibility we might be harassed by the other fleet. I'm hoping that you can kind of keep them off our tail.
If they dare to interfere with business and transport of the Moni Aziz system, we will destroy them instantly. This is a Brussels-class battle cruiser. Can you even imagine the firepower that we could unload?
They start
no, it's
start
kind of,
moving the ship.
Yep.
Okay. All right, you begin blasting away from Hamon's Salazar's bulk freighter. For a little while, one of the insectoid fighters follows you, but you begin falling off of weapons lock, and the little insectoid fighter only follows you for about 10 minutes before heading back to the bulk freighter.
Okay, so the insect fighters were with Salazar. Okay.
I think we're getting better at this.
We didn't die, did we?
Bella's gonna come out of the smuggler's hold.
You and Kush have been in there for like 5 minutes. It's pretty hot. You're both kind of sweaty. It's smelly in there, and there's a spider in your hair.
Oh, she starts
Let me get
screaming
that
really loud.
out. I try and get it out.
Okay, so you get slapped in the head a couple times by Kush.
Slapped? I mean, that's hardly necessary.
You literally just made this motion, Connor.
I mean, that's just a gesture. It's not like literal.
Kush screams like a girl. Ah, spider!
It is literal. That's why we have the webcams, Connor.
Yeah. You know, so I could read your body language.
Yeah.
Guys.
Well, I have really great news for you. We are ending the episode early, but as soon as you dock with the dawn of tomorrow, so we get the ship sailing in towards another massive bulk freighter. But this time, instead of lights and bright painting everywhere, it's complete darkness on the far side of an icy moon. It's very difficult to see, and at the last second, they turn on lights at the front end of the hexagonal rod, so that you know to like sail into the docking port. And as you do, everybody gets 3 experience points and bumps up to the 2nd level.
Yes.
Because you have completed your mission. Safely deliver Marguerite Tiku back to the dawn of tomorrow.
Safely-ish.
Yeah.
Next episode, you're going to have to explain to your boss, Agent Aurora, why you're in a stolen ship that isn't your original ship.
Agent
So what
Aurora,
had
okay.
happened was...
But that's next episode.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. That was fun.
So let's talk about character advancement, because it's a little bit complicated. And
Yeah, I was going to say.
if you got your rulebook open, it's on page 56.
I don't have my rule book on this.
That's fine. I'll talk you through it. You are all now character level 2. You have 3 experience. In order to get to the next level, it will be 6. From here on out, all of you will need personal goals. And think about during the week what you want your personal goal to be. The difficulty of your goal will determine how much experience you get when you complete it. The second thing is you're going to need a new ship goal, but we'll talk about that after you've officially turned over Marguerite. And you can set the goal from there. Second off, you immediately roll additional hit points. You roll a number of 6-sided dice equal to your level plus your constitution modifier.
I think that's a -1 for me. Right?
That's not so great. No, you shouldn't have a constitution negative because you're a robot.
That's right.
Right? Let me look at
So
Debbie.
2d6
And then you add 10 because you're in your box.
plus. Oh yeah,
2d6 plus 0. Yep. Plus 10.
0. Okay.
I think I rolled 2d6 plus 4 plus 1.
What's the plus 1 from?
The Constitution, you said?
Yeah, so you'll add that at every level, so it'll actually be plus 2. So you
So I
get
add
plus
that
1 at the first level,
number
plus 1
onto
at
my
the second
current?
level. So your new hit point is 18 instead of it being...
Got it.
Yep. Well, Dr. Leeto,
How can my hit points go down?
they don't. You keep the higher value.
Okay. Wow. 2.
Connor, there's a question if you're a fan of Fist of the North Star. Wow, holy shit. Well, Miss Honeywell has 7 hit points, and Kush now has 17 hit points, which is
I have 7 times the hit points I started
yeah,
with.
that's a fucking spread right there.
Damn. You had 1 hit point. Good thing we
I
didn't
did.
do anything rack.
I had 1 hit point. You could have killed me when you flipped the ship.
Yeah.
I was freaking out a little bit. I was waiting for us to take 1 damage. I was like, I'm
Please
dead.
God no. Please God no.
All right, so anybody that's not a warrior now has a attack bonus of 1, and anyone that is a warrior has an attack bonus of 2.
I think I get 2.
Adventurers of partial warrior may add a cumulative +1 at levels 1 and 5. Oh, sorry, you're still at +1.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, that sounds right.
so you get +4 at level 5. How does that work out?
I get +1 at level 4, +1 at 1st and 5th level. So that's +2 at 5.
So at level 4, you would have.
+1.
So I think you have a plus. No. I think you have a +2 right now, and here's my reasoning. You have half your level, so your level is 2. Half of that is 1, and then as a partial warrior, you get +1 at level 1. So you should have a +2. At level 3, you'll still have a +2. At level 4, you'll have a +3 because you'll have 4 divided by 2 + 1. And at level 5, you'll have +4 because at level 5, you get an additional +1.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so yours is +2 right now if
Yep.
you're a partial warrior. Second level characters get a attribute or get a modified saving throw of 14 instead of 15. I think if you set your level on your sheet to 2, it should automatically do that for you. Next up is skill points. You get 3 skill points that you can spend now or later. You can raise skills only up to level 1 still. Until you reach level 3, you can't bring a skill up to level 2.
So we got 3 skill points. How many skill points does it take to go from 0 to 1, negative to a 0?
1.
Okay, and then how many to go from 0 to 1?
1.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Think, right? Let me look at this.
I thought it was maybe like
The
maybe
first
3
time. Oh no, sorry, that's attributes. Skill point cost. Skill point 0 costs 1 to open. To go from 0 to 1 costs 2 more points.
Yep.
So it costs 3 points to bring a skill from nothing to 1.
Yeah.
All right. You said we have 4
How
total?
many skill
You have
points
3
do we get
total.
this level?
If you are a partial expert,
3.
I think you get an additional, or if you're an expert, you get an additional point. If the
should be an
PC is a
expert.
psychic or partial psychic, they must spend at least one of these points improving a psychic skill or gaining a new psychic technique.
Okay.
You can reserve the points.
So I get 5.
For you, I think you get 3, right? And is there something that gives an AI more points?
I'm an expert
Let's see
in
here. Experts
piloting.
get an extra bonus skill to spend on a non-combat, non-psychic skill. So you're not an expert, you're a true AI.
Okay.
So you don't
So
get
I
any
think-
extra points for
right. Cool.
that. You're going to want
Right.
to check the rule book about new
Okay.
processing skills that you can get during the week.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot I had those.
All right, so let's be clear again, because this is a little confusing. Everybody gets 3. If you're a psychic, you have to put one of those points away. You don't have to spend it immediately, but you must eventually spend that point on a psychic skill or a psychic technique. If you are an expert or partial expert, you get an additional bonus skill point to spend on a non-combat, non-psychic skill. Boom. What do people want to level up into?
I took my heal from a 0 to a 1 with 3 points, and my expert point went to administer.
Cool. You're now
I have no clue, so
pretty
I have
good
to
at doctoring.
research.
Okay, Connor
Well, I gotta stow one away because
for psychics. Yep.
I can't level up to 2, right? Because I'm level 2.
You could try to take a level 1 technique as a psychic, but
And
that
how
would
much-
take like a lot of skill points.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm not particularly. Yeah, so I'll leave that there. I'm gonna increase my exert to 0.
Okay, that costs 1
and,
point.
Yeah, and then probably shoot to 0.
Okay, all that falling around and getting slapped into things made you
Yeah.
better, and not catching the doctor made you better at doing shit.
Practice makes perfect.
And a good meal, a good tsundere meal and some spicy alcohol.
Are you gonna hold on to that picture of you and the Tsundere cat girl made forever now? You look at it in the middle of the night in your bunk and you're just like, I didn't get to say 10 words to her.
Good times.
But I love her so much. It's so hard without her.
It's the first taste of freedom.
If instead you would like to improve your attributes, you can do that instead of raising your skills.
How much
a one for
So
one?
1 point gives you 1 point in the first point you spend on an attribute boost costs 1. The second point costs 2, and you can't do a third level until you're level 3.
Yeah.
And that's total. So you can do the same attribute twice. You can do 2 different attributes as one, but finally at level 2, each of you gets to pick a new focus, or you can pick the same focus twice.
We get to pick a new focus at
Yep.
level 2.
So you can double up on Starfarer, you can double up on Psychic, etc., etc. This is probably going to be the big one. Or you could, take Gunslinger or Armsman out of nowhere.
Yeah. Probably do something.
Probably do Starfarer again.
Okay. Let's look at what your new Starfarer thing is. It's pretty ridiculous if I remember correctly. It's probably just like you don't have to roll anymore. You just automatically
Ever
go
again.
wherever you want in
I
space.
just do things. Sick. That's what I wanted.
Do you remember what page the focuses are on?
I'm currently looking for
22 is
Yes.
like the middle of them.
Okay, Starfarer level 2. Double your pilot skill for all spike drive related navigation checks. Spike drives as a ship you navigate are treated as 1 drive level higher. So you now treat your spike drive 2 as a spike drive 3, and if you trim the course, you can treat it as a spike drive 4, which means you guys can jump 4 hexes now. Or sorry, you can still only jump 3 hexes, but you can do it as if you had a 4-level drive. Spike drives you personally oversee take only half the time they would require otherwise. So your spike drives now require 15 minutes or 5 seconds, depending on how risky you want to be. Who else is thinking of taking something?
I'll probably do psychic training.
So when you advance a level, the bonus psychic skill you choose for the first level of focus automatically gets 1 skill point put towards or purchasing a technique. So you now have a second point banked towards telekinetics.
Right. So I have 1 skill point that I've banked that I've noted that down below.
For becoming level 2, yes.
Yeah.
These are awarded retroactively if you take this focus later in the game. Okay, so you actually have 3 points banked toward telekinetics.
Right
because
now.
you get 2 points for 2 levels, plus you have the one that you got for being level 2.
Okay.
Yep.
If you say so, I'll take them.
Yeah, you have it. I mean, so you could buy a whole new technique, and at level 3, you could just instantly buy access to level 2.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Dr.
pays
Leeto,
to double down.
you thinking of anything for your focus?
No, I'm just opening it up right now.
Okay, that's fine. Let's let's take a moment to talk about how this session went. It was very different. Well, you know what? I actually feel like it was very similar to the first session in many ways. It was like an echoing repeat of the first session for a little while there. Occasionally you had chases
We just
with
rolled
the
and did way better.
you just made good choices and rolled good rolls, and it worked out. And you didn't get thrown in space.
I thought the RP was really, really fun this session. I had a lot of fun with the RP.
Well, welcome to space. Glad you had fun. That's what I'm here for. Ruining everyone's night. I mean, making good stories.
Yeah.
We didn't die. Those are the good choices we made.
Yeah, any adventure we get through that we don't die, I'm pretty happy with.
What
The
if
best
there was an
stories are when
adventure
you
where
don't
you
die.
died and you were like, man, that was a really heroic death. And we just saved a whole planet full of people and they'll never know it. I feel so noble right now.
Yeah.
Not on episode 1, my dude.
Yeah.
We saved a little girl.
That's right. We got a mission
We made
completed.
it a psycher. She's going to need counseling for the rest of her life.
Oh, yeah, 100%. She doesn't even have a support cabinet anymore.
Nope.
Anything else you guys want to talk about at the end of the episode? Maybe just like, you know. I
What?
mean, I'm not forcing you
All that
guys to
stuff
talk.
that you made up on the fly was amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
you know that I make up a lot of stuff on the fly a lot of the time.
Oh, I found out how to use the rolls on the thing.
Well, congratulations, you're there now.
Sorry.
How do you? I mean, you tell me. How do you do
Maybe
it?
you can teach us.
Well, you open your character sheet. Which
Yeah.
I just closed mine. Sorry.
Yes.
Then there's something up top that says quick menus. So you click it,
My God, you're right. There is. You can hit skills.
and then you can like click on the skill you want to roll, and then put any modifier in the attribute that you're using, and then you can do
Oh
it.
my
Where is this
goodness!
quick button.
Holy
very
shit! This
top
is
By your
amazing.
saving throws, it says quick menus, and you can click on any of those.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just
Oh.
fucking made this game
Oh my God,
10,000
and-
times better.
Look, it counts down your ammo.
My
oh,
God.
that's nice.
I mean, I gotta change my ammo now. Yeah.
God.
God, I rolled a 2. That's terrible.
Right, I can't. It didn't count down my attribute for the ammo in my sheet, but it did count my ammo there. That's weird.
Well, let me go look at your sheet just to make sure.
It doesn't roll it though. It just shows me what my modifiers are.
Click on one of them.
It does. If you hover over where it is, it'll say rolling.
Cool.
That's the thing you can do in Roll20 is hide the roll, but it still happens in the background. You know, it's all those Switzerland observed quantum particles.
Yeah.
I thought it was Sweden.
Oh, who knows? You're right. Your ammo did not get reduced on your sheet.
Okay.
You're
Good to
just
know.
gonna have to keep track of it manually.
Oh shit.
I wonder if I roll again, will it count down to 8 though?
I don't know. Why don't you try?
Yeah, I would. Thank you.
It's usually how
So-
math works.
I have a laser pistol and I hit weapons and I don't get an attack or damage roll. Is there something else I'm supposed to do?
Did you make sure you put it in your sheet?
You have to. First of all, you have to put your weapon in the thing. Then you have to go and look at this when you press.
I got it.
weapon-
I've added it to your sheet now. Hit weapons
Okay.
again. It should work.
Weapon. You
Oh,
should
learn.
You'll have the
Gotcha,
option.
gotcha.
You loaded it, but you didn't hit add on the right
I
hand
see.
side. Yep.
Yeah, I see.
Okay.
Cool.
You know, I wanted to talk to you specifically, Shep. I mean, you say you're not good at role playing. I feel like you had a pretty large part compared to normal tonight.
Yeah, that was a good job.
And I would say from a player's point of view, I felt 50% doing pretty good. I still feel kind of really rough
I feel
around
like
the
you're
edges.
really
but
down on yourself.
I
I felt
well,
like that
you know what?
yesterday when I saw you talking to Connor about art. You're like, Connor, your art is magical and my art is shit. And I was like, man, he's really down on himself.
I don't say that
You're like,
bad.
everybody else's roleplay is amazing and mine is okay, I guess. It's normally terrible.
Well, I felt more comfortable this time. So, I mean, seriously, I was sketching at first, but then I stopped. And then when I could focus more on the game, you know, I'm kind of a little more present. And I'll just say I'm practicing. You know, I'm trying to get a little bit more smooth and easygoing. And I think I'm better than I was. So
Okay.
I was happy with it.
Yeah, not everyone is at that Connor or that Aricido level where fucking ungodly art making machines will also role playing at the same time.
Well, I wouldn't say my role play is exactly on
No,
point.
it was great. Gilded or Geld ended up becoming a great joke. You literally made that shit up
Well, I
like
made that shit
3 months ago, and you finally got to do it.
Yeah. I think it's a great.
If you
Great
don't
play on
criticize
your
your own
meme
art,
while you
never
were drawing.
improve. You know what? I think you're right, chat. If you don't criticize your own art, you never improve. That's why I think that everything I do is shit.
Yeah,
I'm
sure
just
as
striving
artists
for
will know that.
improvement all the time.
Self-degradation never works with art, in my opinion.
I see something about CERN in the chat.
The fact that you're doing it is 10 steps above everybody else.
Yeah, doing is way better than not doing.
Of course.
Criticizing your art and bashing your art are two different things, though.
I'm about to bash my arse
Yeah.
so bad. Let me tell you, I once had this show called Winter's Edge. What a fucking disaster.
I had fun on Winter's Edge for a while,
Jesus.
until the
Yeah,
end.
I know. Look, we've had this conversation so many times. I know you enjoyed Winter's Edge. I can't remember any part of it that I enjoyed. All I remember is the worst parts, the shitty parts.
I remember that you guys died a lot, and then the cast kept on changing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I only
That
sort of,
was Winter's Edge too.
At the time, I was sort of jumping in and out, and I was be like, "Where the heck is the story going this time?"
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Was Winter's Edge worse than Saga of the Icelanders? Yeah, because Saga of the Icelanders wrapped up in like 4 episodes. Winter's Edge was like 25 episodes long.
Winter's Edge was a really good story and had good characters, and then there was some out of character stuff that kind of meddled with everything.
So the problem was I allowed the audience to interact with the show cast, and
Which was super fun.
that was a huge mistake. Worst mistake I could have possibly made.
But we're doing that this time
Career-ending.
around too.
Not to the extent.
No.
The play-by
No.
post directly infected the world and caused some major problems because people kind of went out of hand with it.
They were like, what if we committed treason? Literally, there was one guy that was like, I just got a quick scoop on some undercover intel. I'm immediately going to scream it as loud as I can to everybody and print it in a newspaper.
I mean, someone might do that.
Wasn't that Carladin?
It was Tice.
Oh, I thought, okay.
No, it was Tice's character.
I'm not shocked.
Who also blew the identity of the Spy Master. And so the person playing the Spy Master had to stop their character. They just retired their character, I think, and somebody else stepped into the Spy Master role. Yeah, they were super pissed. It was rough. It was rough. You know, instead of talking about that downer shit, let's talk about who we are and, you know, where you can find us when we're not on this show. You won't find me anywhere else, though, because I'm only on this show, and that's it. So I'm Arthur Perkins. This is Apgamingreal. This is where you'll find me. Like 3 days a week now, and then I have a Warhammer 40k show launching next Saturday, not this Saturday. So then it'll be 4, and then the Game of Thrones game will be launching, and maybe at the end of July. So then I'll be on 5 shows. Plus we're doing Pokemon again, maybe, so 6 shows.
Sometimes
be
it's
here.
hard to be a gangster.
All the time. You know, speaking of someone who's a gangster, let's talk to Cotton.
I am a gangster. I'm a straight up G.
I don't believe you when you say it, but I like how you said it.
Shooting people by day, selling drugs by night, being a
my-
gangster is hella tight.
You should stop.
There's Mondo in the background.
You're so mean.
Is he about to vendor some of your beautiful home
Let's be
cooking?
real.
No, he was bashing my gangster song.
Oh, don't worry, we heard him.
I know. It's mean.
Yeah, we did.
I'm Cottontailed. You can find me on Twitter and AP's Thursday show of Battletech and Pokemon when it comes out. I'm also working on possibly streaming in the future.
Oh my god!
Yay.
What will you be streaming?
I'll
We're
be
gonna stream.
streaming a tabletop game of Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Oh. Well, I feel really bad because you invited me to that game, but I just said I'm doing 6 shows a week already, so I think
Well,
you
yeah.
might not be able to invite me, but I could possibly guest star from time to time.
You're still invited, because it's still undetermined what day it is. Then
Okay,
have to
we'll
see
work
who
on it.
join.
We'll
You
see.
Okay,
can't
you get 1 day left, AP.
Well, I have to leave Friday open for the Patreon group.
Ah.
You know, if people are going to pay me money to play with me, I feel like I should probably play with them.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
They're a really good group. I just haven't seen them in a while. They're having some trouble getting together.
That can be troublesome.
Oh, Cotton, your outro was so much longer this time around.
I think it's because of Pondo. We can go to Bearded now, though.
What's up, guys? Bearded Jalapno. JALAPNO. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Hopefully Twitch within the next month. I've been having some trouble getting internet, but should be back pretty soon. Yeah. Other than that, just drawing all day.
Yeah, so you got
What
that
about you,
Warhammer
Connor?
40k art ready to go, including Pondo as a
Yep,
crazy
gonna
old
start making
man.
that tomorrow. Yeah. It was quite the endeavor. All these characters.
All
good practice.
Yeah,
grizzled,
having fun with it.
grizzled white men with chiseled
4.
jaws,
Yeah, pretty much.
black clothing, edgy outfits.
It gives you a good challenge, and make them all different, even though they're kind of all the same.
Hondo did give you his character description,
Yes,
though, right?
we actually have Pondo's character looks like a dude who got caught in a storm and is like, "Where's the whale?"
What?
Yeah.
I'll post them on
That's
the
great.
Discord after.
All right, I'll send you the workup, Cotton.
Oh yeah, you can send it to you too.
Coo, coo, coo.
Cool.
Where's the whale?
Kooky.
I'll tell you.
That sounds like two of the guys I drew tonight.
Oh, I see what you're talking about now.
Yeah, he's got that crazy hair.
Yeah,
I
right.
like it, though.
Speaking of two guys that drew tonight, what about you, Connor?
I'll be streaming all week, so you guys can check me out. I'm a super secret project, which definitely you want to check out because
Not secret.
it's super secret. So therefore, it's of interest.
I have been
yeah.
checking you out, but I feel kind of, disappointed.
Oh yeah, why is that?
There's no White Ash Volume 2.
I mean, who knows? There's not to say there's no White Ash Volume 2. It's just takes time.
That's
I mean,
a super,
you had it
super secret
all.
project.
You had it all super instant. Like you were like, okay, here's the whole volume. That took so long to make.
Yeah, that's how manga works, man. That's how comics work.
Yeah. So
I read that
I mean-
shit in like 10, 15 minutes. I stopped in midstream to tell you my thoughts on it. I was confused.
that's how it works. That's how any of these things work. So
Now we just need a competing cafe to Sif's. It's a tsundere cafe. Servers show up and they treat you like
I'll
garbage.
talk to Charlie about that. We'll see if we can make something like that happen. I'm not sure if that quite makes sense in universe, but I'll have to first explain the concept. Of
Those tsundere Valkyries. I don't really want to save you or anything.
Jeez, it'd be terrible. I think you have.
Yes, I'll take you to Valhalla.
No, like, it's not because I like you or anything. It's just because we have some open seats, okay?
I'm sure you do all right against the Giants. Be all right. So yeah, I'll be there. You can check me out. How about you, Rob? What's your schedule looking like this week?
Hey everyone, so I'm robSHEPart. You can find me on Twitch and Instagram. Those are two biggest platforms that I'm jumping around on, putting stuff and posting my images. I draw D&D characters and art, and I am on Twitch Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday in the afternoons. Sometimes at nights, but that's all random stuff.
Okay.
And that's what I've got.
Cool. Lately, you've been working on that Skaven type character,
The Rattling.
the Rattling.
The rattling, I probably, you know what, I wish I could do it tonight, but I have to do real work. So the rattling will be tomorrow, probably 1 to 3 California time. I might finish it up. And then after that, I start a character for AP.
Nice.
Wow,
So-
Cotton. I'm just going to give you... I'm just going to tell you the difficulty of that is a 1. That is not a difficult thing.
It's the most important thing to her at this moment.
My goodness. There's...
There's dissent in the ranks.
What a psychological mindscape that is the most important thing to you right now.
Should be a fun next episode.
I'm being accused of trying to get under Pondo's skin. I don't think that's true. I don't think I try to get under Pondo's skin.
In my cursory understanding of the situation, it seems like you try to get under Pondo's skin.
That's not true. I'm worried about Pondo. Ratosaurus pulled him aside one week and trained him to become a killing machine. He trained him to become impolite. And ever since then, I feel like we haven't been able to unactivate that training. He's become a full Black Ops Special Forces soldier. I'm just going to leave us on that thought. Are we back next week? Can everybody make it?
Yeah.
I'll be here.
All right. Think of personal goals. Think of your focus. Fill out your skills or leave the skills aside. The robot needs to check on processes. We got homework to do, and don't save it for the last minute, guys. Please don't do that.
Please
We
don't.
would never do that, AP.
Everyone always I'm on this show. I've played with tabletop role-playing people for 5 years. Everyone saves it for the last moment.
I was going to do it this weekend.
I've had to deal with them for the last week, so just don't do it.
That's it, guys. Have a good night.
All right, good night.
Night, everyone.
Here we go.